Let me just have one more go at printing it out. I usually do print them out. It might work now. You know how your printer goes offline? And it's back now. Print, come on. Well, we can start because are there any apologies for absence?
Councillor Wing.
Councillor Wing. And are there any declarations of interest? Oh, this is not printing. I'll have to go backwards and forwards. Any declarations of interest? No. Can we approve the minutes?
Proposed, Councillor Cash.
Hello, this is Councillor Huxley. I did go to the meeting last time, but my name isn't on the list.
What?
On the minutes.
Last time? Right, okay. No, we can... Sorry, I've got the minutes now.
Where's she gone now? She gone to the local pointers. Hey!
I've got the minutes.
Hey!
Okay, so now we look at the... oh, did we have a seconder for the minutes? Yeah, Jane? Okay.
I will.
Good.
Chairman, you need to approve the minutes as amended to show that Councillor Huxley was in attendance, which I'll do.
Proposed as amended with Councillor Huxley present at the meeting.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's proposed and seconded, yes? Okay, Jane. Now we have to consider the planning applications, which is over to Dean or Eileen.
I'll read them for you, and Dean will get the applications up on the screen for you. Your first application is 47 Grange Road. It's a retrospective application for the erection of external staircase following demolition of existing and the erection of a single-storey rear extension, together with the addition of cladding to the rear elevation and alterations to the fenestration. Deep breath. Back in December, Ramsgate Town Council's comment was that you strongly object to this development, considering it to be overdevelopment and cramped. The application was given permission. That application was permitted by TDC, and they've now come in with a retrospective application. Thank you.
Councillor Campbell, have you got anything to say as you called it in? Hello?
I did call it in, but of course the problem is I didn't appreciate that that the planning department had granted the application. So my original reason for calling overdevelopment of the site actually falls, doesn't it? Because it's already been agreed.
Yes.
I've got no problem with an external staircase because there's an existing one as well. No comment, basically. I did appreciate it had already been granted. I still think it's overdevelopment, but hey-ho. It's been granted, so that's it.
Okay, anyone else got anything to say? No? Okay, let's move on.
Chairman, is that seconded?
Oh, I'll second that, yeah.
Thank you.
Actually went to look at that.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. The second one is 114 High Street. Change of use to create 5 one-bed self-contained flats and 1 studio flat by subdividing the existing ground floor flat and masonette flat on first and second floor. It's in the conservation area, again called in by Councillor Campbell. Thank you.
Okay, so you've got the location. So it's in the High Street, just off Chatham Street. You've got the location there in front of you. So this is the existing ground floor and existing maisonette. Hopefully you've got that in front of you.
Yeah.
So you can see the on the far left is the obviously the ground floor flat. You can see the living room and kitchen shower unit, and then the living room on the one above. I'll just go to the proposed plans, and you can see they're dividing it up. You can see they're dividing all of it up to make the flats. So the one on the far left is flat 1. The second one on the left is flat 2, is on the bottom bit, and that corridor going up is into flat 3. And the proposed first floor, there's flat 4 and 5, and then there's flat 6 on the second floor.
Jesus Christ.
Well, personally, I think that is very overdeveloped, squashed.
Yeah. I think Councillor Green has put his hand up, Chair, to speak.
Sorry, I forgot I'm Chair. Yeah. Councillor Green.
Thank you. Sooner or later, the District Council is going to have to take the density of flats they're approving in central Ramsgate seriously, and this is yet another, in my opinion, overdevelopment of this site, and also adds to the what will be an increasing problem of the sheer density of properties in this area.
I agree.
Yeah, I called it in simply because of this particular issue. I think what's happening is because of the extra regulations that have been put on Cliftonville, developers are looking elsewhere, and they've cast their eye onto Ramsgate. And this is a prime example of overdevelopment in a conservation area. I think it's in a conservation area, isn't it? Yeah, it's in a conservation area. I think what we're conserving here would be slums. This is slums of the future. It's written all over it. I strongly object to this. I strongly object to this on the grounds of overdevelopment and cramped living conditions in a conservation area.
Jane, what do you want to say something? Turn your mic on.
Sorry, Pat, you're an architect, but I was talking to an architect at the weekend, and apparently there's quite strong legislation about the amount of space people should have. And we keep getting these developments, and surely they can't conform to these regulations on space.
Well, I'm not up to date with it all at the moment, but I would just say, especially the second floor where there's 2 flats, it's just far too squashed in. That little flat, I don't know whether it's the front or the back, but at the top, I mean, it's hardly, you can't swing a cat in there. And Peter, can I ask what are the regulations in Cliftonville that you're referring to?
Well, I think it's basically about HMOs mainly, but this is almost tantamount. I know it's not an HMO; it's single flats and a bedsit. But the reality is, because they've realised there's a regulation in Cliftonville about the density of flats, and I think that they put a moratorium on the on HMOs and the number of these single flats that could be built. And I think now and licensing, there's also licensing in Cliftonville, it doesn't apply here. I think what's happening is that developers, I say, looking to make a fast buck, are casting their eye on Ramsgate. There's a proliferation of HMOs and these conversions to multiple flats, 1 bedroom, bed sits, no amenities. There's no amenity space at all.
No.
As I say, I propose that. You got that down, Eileen, did you?
I have indeed. Do you want me to read it, Councillor Campbell? RTC strongly object on the grounds of overdevelopment and cramped living conditions in the conservation area.
Yeah, and no amenity space.
David,
second that, please.
David had his hand up. Can we just check what he say?
I'd like to second that.
All right.
But also, there's a ban on 1-bedroom flats in Cliftonville, as well as controls on HMOs.
Yeah.
I understand that Ramsgate Town Council has the right to speak at TDC planning
Correct.
on issues if they wish. We don't usually do that, but I would dearly like either the chair of this committee or the vice chair to ask to speak on this along the lines of what Peter's been saying.
Yeah, I can do that. If Steve is Steve on the TDC planning committee?
Yes.
He is.
Yes.
So I don't know whether that's a conflict, but I will if he can't or won't.
He won't be able to because he'd be conflicted and therefore won't be able to vote. You will be able to speak though.
I'm happy to do that.
Well done.
Thank you, Pat.
I'll find out when. As long as they don't pass it on delegated powers.
Chairman, I'll find out for you. I'll get all the details.
Thank you. So we had Peter's proposal seconded by David, is that right?
Yeah.
Are we up to date? I think David wants to speak again.
Well, it's just that we could try to get one of our TDC councillors to call it in.
Yeah.
I'll call it in, don't worry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can we move on to the next one, please, Dean? We finished with that.
Thank you, Chairman. The number 3 is Pegwell Bay Caravan Park, Pegwell Road. It's to fell one beech tree. It's in the conservation. I don't think it is. Sorry, Councillor Campbell, you called this one in. Sorry, thank you.
Okay, so you've got the location of the Pegwell Bay Caravan. It's the one that I've circled there in orange. Unfortunately, we don't have, for both of these 3 and 4, we don't have any plans or photographs of this, so it's just having to go off of the Street View and the arboricultural reports in the application. So it's that tree right there by the path. So the application states the tree is a beech and is 2/3 dead with bark peeling off, and with weather changing there is a worry that the tree will fall in the wind and break off, causing severe damage to the nearby caravans or persons. Would like for the tree to be taken down as soon as possible. And there's an image of the tree which I've just sent you. And then you've got one from the tree surgery explaining where it's situated. There's major decay at the main fork of the crown and is in the process of dying. Half the crown is now void of leaf and there are large areas of bark missing on the main trunk and within the crown itself.
Okay.
Council to decide.
Peter, what did you mean not on the allotment?
Well, I was just harping back to our last meeting where we kept trees in the middle of an allotment. Yeah. And I just wondered, as this wasn't in an allotment, whether it should be felled or not. No, I mean, the arboriculturalist has determined that it's a rotten tree, it's dying. Therefore, it's probably on safety grounds. I have no objection.
Cut it down. Cut it down.
There you go.
Councillor Hetherington, would you like to talk?
Can they? Can we suggest that they replace it? I mean, they're cutting this down, but you know, there's not many trees on that site, so it's going to be pretty Spartan once this tree's removed. I mean, if they planted a new tree or something of that nature, I mean, it's all grass basically, and we've got few enough trees.
I would agree with that. Councillor Green, muted.
Not me. I've
Yeah.
got nothing to say, thank you.
All right, okay. I would propose that we accept this recommendation on the basis that they plant another tree in a suitable position.
Suitable location. Seconded.
Yeah, okay. Right, Eileen, let's move on.
Thank you. Your last application is 136 Grange Road. Trees again. one holm oak, crown reduce in height by 6 to 7 metres. One sycamore, crown reduced by 25% in height and radius. One Turkey oak, removal of epicormic growth. A horse chestnut cut back by 1 metre from GPO cable and 2 metres from neighbour's boundary, and remove the water shoots from the main stem. And finally, one lime, crown lift of 6 metres, clean out the internal water shoots. Called in by Councillor Campbell. Thank you.
Councillor Campbell.
Yes, I was
Right.
interested. I was interested in what members thought on epicormic growth and whether or not it should be cut out or not.
I have no idea. Anyone
Well,
got a good opinion on that?
I didn't have any previous knowledge of this particular epicormic growth, but looking on Google, it's from buds under the bark that the actually shoots appear from oak trees, and they're called epicormic. Usually, it's there to replace lack of leaf cover. So cutting them off also doesn't solve the problem, because they usually regrow. There are other buds underneath the bark that then seem to regrow to replace the ones that you cut out. So it says on Google. But I'm not an horticulturalist, I know nothing about it.
Can we ask that they're looked at by, or this in particular one is looked at by the arboriculturalists?
Well, you can do.
There seems to be quite a lot of trees around there, but they're not actually taking them down, are they? They're just reducing them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they should be able to, but
Okay.
what does everybody else think? Anyone second?
Well, they do look rather overgrown, I've got to be honest.
Yeah, Jane. Councillor Hetherington, sorry.
No, I was just agreeing. They do look rather overgrown, so
Yes.
they're being trimmed, not cut down. So that's fine. Yeah.
No objection.
Okay. So are we passing that? Yeah, I think we are. Okay. Eileen.
Thank you. That's the end of your planning applications to consider, so you can move on to your next item.
Report, Town Clerk's report, which I presume is you.
Yeah, there's nothing to report. Sorry.
Only? Oh, what a shame.
Did everybody hear the notice about the food kitchen? Yes. Yeah. Just to spread it round so they get some customers, and the vegetables that go off get fed to the horses.
Fabulous.
So it'd be better if people had them.
Well, I don't know, the horses might starve then.
Yeah, then we can eat the horses, can't we?
Well, what can I say? As a vegetarian, no. But
Yeah.
well,
It might be a bit.
I'd like to suggest that Dean puts this particular facility on the RTC website.
Yeah. And
Yep.
I bet everybody put it on their own Facebook or whatever, because otherwise it's all going to go to waste.
When's the Community Ad magazine coming out?
So the next one for December, February, the next one will be March.
Oh, it's a bit too late, isn't it?
Yeah, but we can promote it through our social media channels and on the website.
Yeah, okay, do that. Well done, Dean.
Just do that, yeah. Because the pandemic will be over by then.
Yeah.
Let's see how this government can muck up the vaccination programme.
Well-
Sorry, I shouldn't be.
Well, par for the course.
Yes. All right. Is that
Okay, okay.
okay?
Is that it then? Is that it?
I think so. Yes.
Okie dokie. Goodbye all.